appreciate you. Let's get the official start for Survive to Thrive. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Survive to Thrive. Super excited to be here today. And, you know, the ET video that we watched prior to our coaching call here, you know, we've all heard that, you know, everything starts with a why. I'm going to give you my version of that. The reason we're not hitting our goals is because we don't have to. If we had to hit our goals, we always would. We would never fail because we wouldn't stop until we did. So my self-talk every day is work as if the life of someone I love depended on the results. And I'm always going to give my best when I have the right mindset around this. So I want to share a model for success that I promise you will deliver the results. It's not a do this and see what happens. It's do this and you will absolutely get the results that I promise you will get. One of the things I love about real estate is success is a choice. It absolutely is. So is failure. When we fail, we choose to fail. And I'm not talking about temporary setbacks. We all have temporary setbacks. I'm not talking about having a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month, because that happens to all of us. What I'm talking about is over time, when you create standards and you hit those standards daily, you're going to get the results that we promise you're going to get. It's bake the cake. Using 100% of the ingredients exactly the way that we're teaching you to do this. So if you start at the top of the whiteboard over here on the far left, you've got 250 work days a year. That's working 50 weeks, 5 days a week. That's 250 work days. Now, if you're going to take 4 weeks off, then just change the math. Work expands to fit the time allowed. You can get the same things accomplished working less, as long as you work with focus and urgency. Now, if you give yourself a lot of time to complete a task, it's going to take every single minute that you gave yourself, because you're just going to expand the work to fill the time. Now, the opposite is true. If you give yourself less time, then you're going to get the same things accomplished, but you're going to do it with more focus and urgency. All right, so you're working 250 days a year. You're having 20 real estate conversations a day. That's 5,000 conversations in the period of a year. How much time will this take on average? Between 3 and 4 hours a day. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. I'm not going to say that you can accomplish it in less time. That's how much time it's going to take. It's going to take effort. Success is simple. There's the formula. And it's not easy. It requires that you show up every day and that you live up to the standards that you've set for yourself. Now, in addition to having 5,000 conversations, you're going to add one person to your database every day, and you're going to talk to one person who's thinking about buying or selling, and you're going to add them to your pipeline, to your funnel. This is the formula for success. It's 250 times 20 equals 5,000 plus 1 plus 1. That's the formula. Business is a math equation. There's your math equation. Now you have 3 sources for lead generation. You can prospect for sell by owners, expired listings, circle prospecting, anything that is outgoing where you are looking for buyers and sellers versus attracting buyers and sellers, which is marketing. So we have prospecting, we have marketing, and then we have repeat and referral business. These are your 3 sources for. We're going to focus on seller listings right now. These are your 3 sources for seller listings. The 20 conversations a day are happening in prospecting, responding to incoming leads, and working your database for repeat and referral business. Now, the way the model looks is you have this group of people out here called haven't mets. That's everybody that you haven't met yet who's not in your database. Now, you have an opportunity every day, several times a day, to have a haven't met conversation. If I'm calling it for sell by owner, I haven't met them yet. If I'm knocking on doors, circle prospecting, I haven't met them yet. So a circle prospecting would call or being at your front door, Belly, would be simply, hi, my name is John Dietz. I'm a local real estate expert. I wanted to share with you that a home in your neighborhood recently sold, which is great news. Our challenge now is there are still buyers looking for great homes like yours. Now, he's just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling your home in the next 6 months? Now, that person says, I am. Glad you knocked on my door. I'm thinking of selling my home. Well, I'm going to add them to my database and they're going to go into my pipeline because I just found that one person who's thinking of selling their home. Now, what if I hear, I can't think of anybody right now? Well, now I'm going to have my have it met conversation, which is simply, thank you for taking a moment to think about that. And before I go, I'd like to share that I like to keep my friends and family members updated on the market. That simply means that I send them interesting information on the real estate market once a month, and I call every 3 or 4 months just to check in. Would it be okay if I added you to that group? Now, Nathan, they tell me, no way, you're weird, get off my lawn. Okay, cool. I'm going to go to the next house and have the same conversation, Belly. And they say, sure, I'd love to be added to that group. Did I succeed or did I fail? I succeeded because I hit my daily standard of adding one new person to my database every single day. I'm standing in line at Starbucks. I have my name tag on. My name tag says I'm a real estate agent. The person who's standing there looks at me and says, are you a real estate agent? Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Are you looking to buy or sell a home? No, I'm not. Just curious. Cool. Hey, by the way, I like to keep my friends and family members up. Okay, you get it, right? Many, many, many times every single day, Belly, in order to add new people to our database, the only thing we have to overcome is call reluctance. Go back and watch the video from Friday. All right. Now, I'm prospecting for sell by owners and expireds, and I'm finding people who want to sell their home. This is the low-hanging fruit of real estate. These people already have their hand up. Before sell by owner has raised their hand, I have to put my hand down before AI captures it and sticks it up there in that screen. They've raised their hand and said, I want to sell my home. Matter of fact, I'm trying to sell my home. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome if you could drive through a neighborhood and just identify who's thinking of selling their home? Well, you can't just drive around and look for sale by owner signs. They're thinking they want to sell their home. So you're going to call them. Hi, my name is John Dietz. I'm a local real estate expert with blank. I noticed your home is for sale. Just out of curiosity, if I had a full price offer on your home, would you want me to bring you the offer? Get in the door. The purpose of the call is to get in the door. Reject, rejection. No is not a word that lives in your vocabulary. No simply means not yet. People will not change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. You've got to be the person who's got an inventory of questions that you're going to ask in order to create a new decision based on new information. In other words, what does a great buyer look like to you? Well, a great buyer is somebody who would pay my price. I agree. Can I share with you what a great buyer looks like to me? A great buyer is somebody who sold their home yesterday and they need to buy a home in the next 30 days or they're going to be homeless. Would you agree? Yep, that's a great buyer. Or a great buyer is somebody who's in town for the weekend and they're going to buy a house. That's a great buyer. Now, if you were that buyer, are you out driving around looking at for sale by owners or are you working with a professional like me? Well, I would be working with a real estate agent. Of course you would. Now, if you're the real estate agent who's working with that buyer, are you driving them around showing for sale by owners, or are you showing them properties that are listed by a professional like me? Well, I would be showing them homes that are listed by a professional. Of course you would. So, Anna, my question is, if we're not attracting one of the two buyers that we just described as a great buyer, who are you attracting? Well, the answer to that question is everyone else. You're attracting people who are looking for a deal. You're attracting garage sale shoppers. You're attracting people who can't get financing. And because they can't get financing, they're not going to work with a real estate agent. So the only thing that's left is for sale by owner. You might as well put a sign in your front yard that says, if you can't get a mortgage, call me. Have you had anybody ask you if you would consider owner financing? Have you had anybody ask you if you would do a lease option to purchase? Every for sale by owner that's been for sale for more than 4 weeks is going to answer yes to those questions. Now, my follow-up when they say yes is, do you know why? Because I can tell you. So you're creating a new decision based on new information. All right, now you've got one new prospect that you've added to your pipeline, your funnel, every single day. So in that 250-day period, you've met with 250 potential sellers. And the next ingredient that we're going to put into this formula to create success is follow-up. Now, follow-up simply means we have 3 phases to a real estate transaction. We have lead generation, lead follow-up, and transaction management. Everything to the right of this line over here is transaction management. That's what you're going to do to get that house under contract and get it closed once they've hired you. Everything to the left of this line over here is lead generation. That's this, it's this, it's this. You're creating a lead that's going in here, and then you're systematically following up over time.
John, can I ask
Yes,
what's the 26?
that's an LG. It's not 26.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks like 26, but it's lead generation. So you're systematically following up over time. Your goal is to get this blue line over here, this dot line over here. And what that is that's the moment that person gets serious about selling their home. And you're going to be the person they hire because you've created emotional proximity. Emotional proximity simply means when that person gets serious about selling their home, you are closest to them, so they're going to hire you. Sometimes the key to success is just be the last person who's still hanging around. And here it is, you follow up without exception. Following up without exception means I reject rejection. It means no is not a word that lives in my vocabulary. So Todd, I'm following up week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and I'm hearing, go away, I'm never going to hire you. If I hired somebody, I already have a real estate agent in mind. My sister's a real estate agent. My aunt's a real estate agent. And I'm hearing all of these reasons to stop calling. Yet I don't hear no because I reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in my vocabulary. My response to I've already got somebody in mind is cool, talk to you in a couple of weeks. I'm never going to hire you. Awesome, call you in a couple of weeks. Because if I stop calling, will they hire me? Of course not. If I keep calling, will they possibly hire me? Yes. Does this always work? No, but it works some of the time and it works none of the time that you don't use it. Now, when you've created emotional proximity, the math is approximately 10 to 20% of this group will hire you. So if you meet with 250 people and you follow up systematically over time, without exception, you're going to take 25 seller listings. Guaranteed, I promise you. Remember, success is a choice, so is failure. If you stop calling because you buy into the bullshit that they're not going to hire you, or you create some story in your head, then you're going to stop calling and they'll never hire you. But if you follow up without exception, 10 to 20% will. Again, I promise you, it's a guarantee. Now, let's go back over here. You're adding one new person to your database every day. You're building a database. The size of your business is the size of your database. The size of your database is the size of your business. Let's say you have 200 people in your database. 5% are going to sell. 5% of the US population that owns a home moves every year. 5% of your database is going to move every year. The other 5% is going to be referrals by delivering value and having a systematic plan for staying in touch with them. In other words, a drip campaign. So if I've got 200 people in my database and I'm working my database, I should get a 10% return, which means 20. I've got 20 seller listings through my database. I've got 25 through prospecting. That's a total of 45 sales or 45 listings in a year. There's the formula. All you got to do is plug and play. 3 minutes over. So a couple quick ahas and we're going to jump.
I love when you have said before, this business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yep.
And just like develop that habit of doing the things simple. I heard someone say something that resonated with me. It said that get good at doing the small things often.
Yep.
That's what comes up for me when I hear you, John.
Thank you for that. Nathan, so Nathan is a managing broker for Berkshire Hathaway in Los Angeles. By the way, it's still the middle of the night out there. So huge kudos to all of you that are here from the West Coast. And I mean the West Coast of the US, not the West Coast of Florida, Anna. Nathan, sometimes I tell people I moved to the West Coast. And they're like, you're in California. I'm like, no, the West Coast of Florida. So Nathan, if you were to sit down with an agent who's partnering with you, who's joining your office, and you just did exactly what I just did right here, and you said, here it is, here's the formula, do this, and you're going to sell a lot of homes. Would that work?
Yeah, it would work.
It would. Why doesn't it work? I'll answer the question for you. Because they choose to fail. Some of you might not like that.
Mhm.
I'd like to say something, even though I'm brand new here.
Talk to us, Beth.
Watching videos from last night, Charlene is my bar.
There you
And
go.
I'm going to be calling strangers for the first time
There
in
you
my
go.
15-year career today.
There you go.
And I really watched Charlene over and over and over again because she's awesome.
I agree. Charlene works with Nathan. She's got an amazing broker. So
Oh, cool.
yes, all kudos to
She's on the West
Charlene.
Coast too.
Yeah, she's out there in the middle of the night, like
She's on
all
this call every day.
she is. Thank you for sharing that, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, that's going to be it today. Unless everybody has anything that they want to share, I am going to jump so you guys can get to work.